Welcome back to another episode of Monster Speaking Podcast. This is a special edition right here.
Yep.
This your boy Mike, better known as Booby.
This your boy Daryl, better known as Solomon Grinning Gant.
And we gonna just keep this real simple, y'all. We got a 16-year NFL ex-player Super Bowl champ.
Yes.
3-time went back-to-back 96, 97, 98.
Yep.
Is tied 12th in the NFL with 57 total interceptions.
Yep.
And he's tied with people like Everson Walls.
You know that's
He's
right.
tied with Mel Blunt. So let's put it out there. So, without being said, you two take a left and your right hand and put it together for Mr. Eugene Robinson. Thank you, man. We appreciate you being here, man.
Thank you.
I guess I'm going to go ahead and hit you with the first question, Mr. G. I'm sorry. Was Bryce Young the right quarterback for the Panthers?
So when we talk about the Panthers, and here it is, and now I take this because I love the Carolina Panthers. I feel like I've been more like a Carolina Panther than every team, even though they played 1 year, but I did a lot of broadcasting for them. Mm-hmm. When I watch Bryce Young is that good. There's a patience about him in the pocket. Now, I know the offensive line is broken down because he's gotten sacked too many times, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. However, his poise in the pocket, and I'm not BSing you. I've gone against Elway. I've gone against Montana. I've gone against Marino. I've gone against Warren Moon. I've gone against all those great guys that you know. And this dude has the poise and the arm of every last one of those dudes I just mentioned. That's how he's good. That's how I'm telling you, that kid is that good. And what makes him so good, Mike, is that he's in the pocket and stuff can be falling around him, and he just slides and he moves. I'm like, dude. That's what Montana does.
Exactly.
That's what John Elway's been able to do.
It's so
Before
crazy.
Peyton Manning was Peyton Manning, that's Peyton Manning.
Exactly.
So when I'm looking at this young man, I'm like, dude, I know he's smart, this and that. And let me just say this too. Have you seen that dude take a shot? That dude's been
And guess what?
And get right back up.
Like it ain't nothing.
And then encourage the team.
Yep.
So
He built it up. And I like that about him.
I love him. I think he's the right choice. I love. So I know there was a C.J. Stroud.
Thank you.
Let me just tell you this. I thought when they played the Houston Texans, I thought, and then from my vantage point, I thought he outplayed C.J. Stroud.
He did.
No
like
doubt.
I say, now, the play that killed me, you played safety. Xavier Woods, I know you know what play I'm talking about. When Stroud threw that seed between three people, if you go back when they slowed the takedown, why did Xavier take a step and he slowed like he hesitated? If he would have went ahead and ran through it, you would have intercepted the ball. I didn't know the receiver had the ball at the time until I looked. I'm like, he got the ball. But I'm gonna tell you something. We talked about that young kid, the safety from Florida State. He playing better.
Oh yeah,
The Robinson kid. He playing better.
But let me talk. But Xavier Woods did something like that even last year, and what it is that he has to trust what he sees.
But that's what I'm saying. He don't trust his instincts.
I know, but he has great instincts. And what I'm saying to you is that, because I've been critical on him last year, because I saw the same thing where he missed the interception that could have changed the Tampa Bay game, that we actually could have changed it, win that game, and now
in Tampa.
Maybe
I know you're talking about
a different situation. And I saw this same one, and I'm like, dude, you have to risk it. If you want to be a top free safety in the league, he's a great communicator.
He is.
I said, but if you want to be a top, you got to risk it. So I got 57 interceptions, right? But guess what? I got touchdowns thrown on me too. Yeah. But for going for interception,
but you taking the risk.
You know what
I'm saying?
Yeah.
He hesitated, and when they slowed the tape down, when they went back and slowed, I'm like,
oh no! I'm like, dude, you got to make that play, because once he makes that play, his confidence goes through the roof. He'll think he can make.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna let you ask your question, Darren.
This is not a football question. This is more of a question of about the city of Charlotte. You know,
gotcha.
When you retired, right? What was about the city of Charlotte that made you and your wife?
And that's a great question. I wanted to ask you myself.
Reggie White was my roommate in Green Bay, and so Reggie White always wanted me to do ministry with them, and he called me up one day when I was in Green Bay, talking about, hey, you need to move to Green Bay. I said, I'm not moving to no Green Bay. He said, the Lord told me to tell you, you need to move to Green Bay. I'm like, look, this guy didn't tell me that I need to move to Green Bay. I'm not moving to Green Bay. We need to do ministry together, right? And so we've been friends forever. And so then he goes to Charlotte. He calls me up and says, it's Charlotte. The Lord told me Charlotte. And so they had like a church convention here that it was part of. And so my wife and I, we came down here for the church convention and spent the time with them. It was like, oh, we was thinking about Charlotte. So that's pretty nice. And we wanted to get back to the East Coast anyway because all our family is over there. But we didn't want them to be so close that they could just drop in.
So this is home for you now.
So this became home. And so we were back in Seattle. And then one day it was like the Beverly Hillbillies. We said, all right, we out of here.
Y'all
We're going. We're packing up. And we out. We're going. We moved here. And here it is how providential this is. And from the Lord. The second day I got here, I called my agent. She says, hey, you know, the Carolina Panthers just called you, asked if you could play one more year.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So you moved here not knowing you were going to come here?
I just moved here to retire.
Oh, my God. So that's just how God works. So you had to come.
I moved from there, and if they would have called me, if any other team would have called me prior to that, I would have told them no.
You were done.
I said, I can't because I was doing Bible studies. I had all this thing that I was doing. I'm like, I can't. I can't move. And then when we moved, 2 days later after the move, and I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do?
Gotcha.
I said, what am I gonna do? I call my agent, and she says, hey, I just got off the phone with the Carolina Panthers. Can you go take a physical? Wow. I'm like, oh yeah. And I said to the Lord, I said, God, if you want me to be on this team, I said, I haven't done anything. I haven't worked out. I haven't done anything. All I've been doing was nothing but Bible study and immersing myself in the Word of God. That's all I did. And so when I got here, I said, if you want me to, you're going to have to give me what I need. Yep. I had one of the best workouts I ever had.
Wow. That makes sense though, but it's crazy to me. Wow. It's crazy to me. You just said you played 16 years. That's unheard of. How did you keep your body in shape? Because back then when you played, it was thumping. Yes. It wasn't that you couldn't hit nobody on the shoulder. No. You had to hit. So my thing is how, first of all, your health wise, how did you, I know you done had concussion and stuff, but how did you avoid maybe the head injury? I mean, how did you, because you played 16 years and you didn't really have too many major injuries.
Well, I tore my Achilles. Okay. I separated the shoulder. I had a hip pointer. I always had sprained ankles. Yeah. But you get conditioned, like I'm conditioned to hit. So I've never thought about somebody being 300 pounds going like this, oh, he's scary. I thought about, I'm about to knock this guy out.
So you had that.
And so I can, and I'm a wrestler, I condition my body to hit, and I condition my body like when to hit somebody and when, I'm going to have to take, I know I'm going to lose this battle. But
you want to take that,
I'm going to have to take the blow. And just to get the guy down, I know I'm going to lose the battle. So you have to kind of judge all that stuff. But I got over 1,400 something tackles in National Football League.
Listen.
And it's because, I'm not afraid. I ain't scared of nobody. I ain't scared of you. And if I get a chance to hit you, I'm gonna knock you out if I can.
But
and that mentality of not having that, being fearless. I never worried about getting hurt. I never thought about, he's gonna hurt me. I'm like, no, I'm about to hit you.
So basically, when you played, I see you had 57 career interceptions. But you only had 7.5 sacks. I saw. So my thing is, they didn't run. You didn't have to do. So you
that's not my job.
So your job was. So guess what? Your job is what you were doing.
My job
you were paid to make sure to run the defense, make sure everybody got back and where they need to be.
Yeah, so that's my job.
So you got. That's why I'm trying to tell people. You have different kind of safeties. Palomalo was more or less. He can do both. He can go to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's Leroy Butler. That's Leroy Butler.
Exactly.
I played with Leroy Butler. When Fritz Sherman would call a blitz force, I would tell Leroy, "You blitz, I'll cover." I said, because he's a better blitzer.
You know your strength.
I know my strength. I said, let him come. And here it is. I want to get an interception anyway. So when Leroy is blitzing in the championship game against 97 against the 49ers, boom, Steve Young drops back. You get tight end, goes across on this end route.
Now remember that. You jumped it.
Yep.
Roy was in his face. When he's in his face, I said, I got this. I jumped that route right there. Boom. Changed the game. We scored a touchdown.
Yep. I remember that play.
And so, but that play alone, it's like, I just know my role. My role is I'll get everybody lined up. I'll make tackles. I'll be around the ball. I'm going to get interceptions. I got 22 forced fumbles, dude. 17 fumble recoveries, right? I'm going to be around the ball where I'm going to make a play on the ball.
Wow.
And that was it. And so I knew that my thing is get you lined up. And then whoever does this better, I am catering to your strength.
Gotcha.
When the coach gives me the latitude to call a defense and all that stuff that I was used to do.
So what were the different nuances of like quarterbacks that had like certain little things that they would do when they was about to throw the ball off?
John Elway would always pat the ball twice.
So everybody had like Dan Marino did.
Everybody got something. So Dan Marino, he threw the ball so dang fast it didn't matter what I did.
He was probably one of the best, strongest arms you played against.
Dude, he threw we were situation like this. It was a 4th down situation. We're in the Kingdom back in the day. The Kingdom didn't exist.
Yep.
I'm right here. There's maybe my other safeties are here. The receiver's right here, and they drop back on the maybe They got the ball on the 12-yard line, so he drops back. He's 20 yards away from me.
Mm-hmm.
We're right here, this distance, right here. He looks at me. I said, I dare you to throw the ball. I dare you. I'm going to pick this off. And I dare you. When that dude looked at me like this and put his hand down, by the time he put his hand down, the ball was right here.
So he had that kind of arm.
It was nothing I could do.
He had that kind of arm.
Nothing I could do, but we smashed him and it was a touchdown. They won the game.
Wow.
Now, this is
nothing
what
I can do.
This is one of the biggest conceptions. Since you inside the Panthers, I just want to ask you a question. DJ Moore was here. He was a number one receiver. Now, I'm gonna just ask this question, and then you give me your, because I'm so tired of talking to people about this. I'm blue in the face. You had the number one receiver. You traded him away. I understand you get the first pick, but Brian Burns need to be paid. You haven't paid him yet. It's halfway through the year. People be saying, wait, he's not going full strength, this, that, and the other, because he don't have a contract. If you knew you weren't gonna sign him, why you didn't trade Burns, just keep DJ Moore?
See, that was one of the dilemmas, but they thought here is that getting a quarterback and getting extra receivers around him, that you can find a DJ Moore. That was their calculus. Like, they think they can find a DJ Moore. Now, I think that kid's irreplaceable. I think he is, and look, I didn't live too far from him. That dude is that good.
I told people that.
That dude is that
He's
good.
the best receiver we had here since Steve Smith. And I told people that.
No doubt about it. And he got that dog in him that if you try to tackle him, he gonna throw you down, man.
Okay, so why not? Okay, so why they take so long to pay Burns?
So that portion of it here, I have no idea why.
What are they thinking? I mean, okay,
I have no idea
you have
why.
to have building blocks, right?
Yep.
So
But Burns can't go anywhere.
I understand that.
Yeah, he can't.
Because my thing is,
He'll be a free agent, but he can't go there.
franchise.
He can always franchise.
But the thing is, we always had players. We talked about this before. You had the Keekleys, the Thomas Davis, the Peppers, the Steve Smith, the Cam. You had people in Charlotte 8, 9, 10 years. Even Olsen got traded over here, but we had people over here.
For a long time.
McCaffrey, we had him over until we are trading now our better players and not looking like nothing coming back. So my thing is, are you going to be around Dave Brown, Brian Burns, Frankie Louvu playing out his mind? So listen, are you gonna actually pay these guys to have a building block? Because if you keep getting away Dave Brown and Burns every year for draft, and you're not hitting on, okay, this is good.
Because you about to say, because you're not hitting on the draft.
Yeah,
you gotta hit.
That's
on
what
the draft.
the third. Okay, what's the third round pick guy from Oregon? He's just not getting on the field.
You talking about
The defense end from Oregon. Whatever outside linebacker.
Barnum?
No, the one from Oregon. Barnum came last from.
Yeah, he came from last year.
The kid they took second round, they took Mingo. The third round they took a kid out of Oregon.
Yeah,
and everybody was saying his motor. It was.
Yeah, but he's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good. You talking about
I can't think of it.
I can see
he played Sunday. He made a couple plays.
I know. Yeah,
and I said to myself, okay, he might be okay.
No, he is okay. He
played.
Good,
Robinson played. But my thing is, they talking about trading Chin. Now this is what I don't get. Chin, when Chin played a couple years ago, he was almost rookie of the year, defense rookie of the year.
Yes, he was.
He came in second. Now you telling me you can't find a place for him because they say he don't fit the scheme? I mean, you got to use. If he's talented, you got to use these people. I don't understand it.
It's now Chin is hurt now, is he?
He's hurt. But before they was talking about trading him for more. And I'm saying myself,
well, I don't know if I don't know what that. I heard trade rumors about Chin, but I haven't heard that come from the team.
So
I heard like rumors about them because for the same thing, people are talking about this. They're not using Chin. Here it is, and I get it because he's that guy. We went from a 4-3 to a 3-4, and then do you make him that outside linebacker or do you make him the nickel, or do you put him as a safety? And I thought now that he got caught in between, and the fact that this is about confidence here, the fact that he hasn't made those plays where to get himself going, I think, I could be totally wrong, I think that he's sitting going like this, oh man, what's going on with me?
But who that mind you of? Who that mind you when they first drafted Thomas Davis? He came as a safety.
Oh, absolutely.
But get what they did to him. They moved him to next year, they moved him to linebacker.
And that kid is he's so big. Jeremy Chin is so big. And I think that you have to find a spot for him.
I just don't understand it.
Or, like I always thought, Troy Polamalu, Leroy Butler, one thing they did was they played close to the line of scrimmage. Let him play close to the line of scrimmage.
His first year, he was there.
And let everybody else make
Minnesota,
in
Minnesota, he made 2 plays back-to-back, scoring touchdown, defense touchdown. Now they saying, I'm just thinking that's what they saying, but I'm just like, you cannot give away talent if you was a team that was hitting on your draft picks every year, then okay, I can understand that. Since we had Dante Jackson or CJ McHorn been hurt, when the last time they had a decent cornerback? Horn is good when he's healthy, but you're only good if you're on the field.
Absolutely.
My thing is, I'm not saying he's walking glass, but I mean he's always he's always, and I'm not trying to talk.
No.
We know he's good.
No, we know he's good. We know he's so talented. He has to be on the field. And that's the sentiment around the time. He has to be on the field.
Yeah, I'm like,
and here it is. I know also he wants to be on the field, but you have to be able to stay healthy. Here's the problem. Here's the thing with the National Football League. You only get certain opportunity to go ahead and play and do your thing. And when you do it, you gotta make the most of it because it's easy to put you in a foul because guess what? Every year there's always going to be somebody that's coming out that's going to be good. Every year there's going to be more J.C. Horns. There's going to be more Jeremy Chins. So you got to strike it when it's hot. Now I think to your point about Brian Burns and maybe the contract stuff, Chuck Knox said something to me a long time ago that I've never forgotten. When you're losing, nothing looks good.
True.
Nothing looks good.
That
you can
sense.
tell me about Burns got 3 or 4 sacks, whatever it is, but guess what? That's not what you talk about. You talk about, hey man, how come we can't win? What's going on? This, that, what's that? You talk about that, but when you win, all that looks good. So here it is. Yes, you can play well. Yes, you can have the defensive stats. Yes, you could be everything about it. You could be that cat.
Gotcha.
But when you lose, nobody sees it.
Gotcha.
Nobody sees that from that big perspective. They all see is the team lost. And so that's what you have to surface and get through. And that's what, now when they negotiate, Scott Fitterer and all of when they start to talk about that stuff, they're going to be able to, business agents going to be able to bring up the stats and what he did, even in if the defense still continues to look like it's looking, they'll be able to bring that stuff up.
Just to jump on like how you were saying about the business part of it, when you use undrafted, right? So for a person that's trying to make a roster spot on the team, what advice would you give them as far as once they make the roster spot, they sign their contract or whatever, finances wise? What would you
before
tell
you
them?
even say that? But you gotta understand when he came in the league.
Yeah.
There wasn't no XFL. There wasn't no USF. It was hard. So when
there wasn't no practice squad.
It was hard. So I'm saying, so to your question, I just wanted to throw that out. What question? Full answer you got for that?
The very first thing, and what helped me make the team, and what God gave me this ability to play, is special teams. First of all, on special teams, I was. If you saw me and you looked at me, you were like this. That dude plays football. I weighed about $175, and I looked like I was about 15 years old. You go, oh, what? He ain't gonna do nothing. I couldn't lift. I didn't even lift. I couldn't bench press 225 more than 2 times.
You wasn't a gym. You wasn't a gym rat.
I wasn't that cat. I'm a wrestler. I would knock you out though, because I know the art of how to hit somebody and knock a dude out because I'm a wrestler. And so when I played special teams for the Seattle Seahawks, I went against a guy named Steve Tasker, and our special teams coach Rusty Tillman was talking about. He kept talking about this dude Steve Tasker. I had no idea who he was. I didn't know anything about Steve Tasker.
One of the Buffalo Bill greats.
Buffalo Bill great. On one play, as he is the gunner running down the field, I'm inside. My guy squeezes the gunner towards me. I hit Steve Tasker so dang hard, dropped him. Dude, I can hit, man. I can tell you.
You might be the first one to get a concussion.
No. I dropped Steve. I dropped him right there, and I looked at him. I said, oh, let me go down there and hit somebody else. So I go back down there. This is a punt return. I go back down there looking for to hit somebody else. The punt return is coming back towards me. I'm like, okay, well, let me turn around and find somebody ahead of me. He came back up. I hit him again and dropped him. I dropped him.
Wow.
Dude. And so I didn't know who he was, so we get into practice. We get into a film session the next day. And Coach Tillman said, look at Robinson here. Watch Robinson. He pointed out about 3 plays I made against Steve Tasker. I had no idea who he was. Well, guess what? Special teams. Now I'm that guy.
Yeah.
You know,
now I'm that guy.
You know story that sound like Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis, that's how he made it.
I'm that guy. Terrell Davis, I'm that guy.
In
special teams, you got to prove yourself to special teams because they drafting the cats that they want because they think that they all about it. And and a lot of guys fall through the cracks. I got a number 1 drafter. I got this guy right there. Here it is. I never cared about whether he was number 1, number 10, number 25. I don't care. I don't care. I always said, God, you've given me this ability to play football. I'm going to make my own story, and I'm going to tell my own story. into the Water League. I must tell my own story.
Yes.
Where is it written that you're supposed to beat me? Where is it written that?
That's right.
Where is it written that? I said, you know what? And I grew up straight in the hood playing football in the street and waiting for the cars to go by. That's when I grew up playing football, doing that stuff. You know, and my brother always told me, so he's only 13 months older than me. Hey, he said, we can win a game in time. All it takes is one play. 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 He always just said, all it takes is one play. All it takes is one play. Guess what? All it takes is one play, and I'm not afraid. I'm not scared. I am not scared. So when we talk about free agents, I tell you, if you're going to make the team, you better be a special teams beast because they ain't looking at you. And then you better know all the academics of football. You better study your position, and you better know what to do when they put you in.
AKA
and when they
Sam
put
Franklin.
you in, then you ready to go ahead and ball.
Yep.
The first time they put me in a game when two safeties got hurt, Ken Easley and a guy named Paul Moyer, going against the Kansas City Chiefs, the quarterback, Carlos Carson, is their top receiver. I looked at him, I said, oh my God, I think they're about to run this towards me. I heard a guy say, check, he changed the play. They ran a play next to me. I intercept the ball about 50 yards down the field, and I bring it back to like the 10-yard. That was like introduction to people knowing Eugene. They're going to who is this cat? I played in that game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and I played all the special teams too. I played in that game when those guys got hurt in the second half. I might have had 12 tackles, an interception, a forced fumble, and something else. And the headline was, "Who is Robinson?"
Wow.
They're trying to figure out who this cat is. I'm only supposed to be there, dude.
Right, you ain't supposed to be there.
I'm not even supposed to be there. If you saw me, you would walk right by me because I don't look like I'm a football. I don't look nothing like it.
So I guess my last question for you is a two-part question. Since the Panthers got to win Sunday, was the atmosphere different?
Absolutely. What? See, this is a great thing about winning. Winning creates a climate where all good things happen. Coach, I'm hitting his Coach Knoxisms. He's always said, but it's a climate. When you win, everything looks better, tastes better, sounds better, smells better, everything. I go to the mailbox, go to get my mail like this.
You feel better.
I feel better. Yeah. And so here it is. That was what they needed in that locker room because they're not a bad team. Yeah. They really aren't a bad team.
They're 12th in defense. They are 12th in defense. So guess what? It's 32 teams. They 12.
They 12.
Their defense is good.
They are not a bad team. They're a young team. They're a new team. The offensive line. We haven't talked about the offensive line.
And that's my big. Okay, I'm at Campo is still here, right?
Yep.
He was there last year.
Yep.
Didn't they break a record last year against Detroit, running the ball?
That's right.
When Chuba Hubbard and Deontay Foreman went for over 100. So let me ask you this: and you play, so I have to understand this. People that work saying with the offense, that's the same offense line. Okay,
it's
granted, oh boy ain't there.
It's not.
Christian hurt.
Christian and
then Corbett just come back. But Bradley Bozeman is there, and both of your tackles is there. Okay, so my thing is, I understand the guards are important, but did the philosophy change? Because Wilkes had them running down your throat, and everybody know he's a better run protector than he's a pass protector, and I guess they kind of knew that. So people that work like, why they run the ball so much? I say Ron Rivera had success with that. John Fox had success with that. Steve Wilkes understood that and went back to that. Now you're trying to make Bryce Young into a Patrick Mahomes or a Joe Burrow. He don't have the receivers nor the time to do what they do. If you give this kid time, it'll change. But I want to know if you got the same offensive line coach. Please, for the subscribe, please tell us what's changed between the offensive line.
Well, here it is. It's the personnel. The fact that we got two key positions. When Corbett went down and got hurt last year, that was huge.
It was, yeah.
That was huge. When Christian got hurt this season, early, that was huge. Now, what the tackles Moulton and Xxxi have to do is you have to go ahead and gel with two guards that you haven't played with, and then Bozeman has to. And here it is. One was Savala from NC State. The other one was Throckington, and then we had another guy that was in there. They had too many people in there where you got to get chemistry. And don't forget this. The other teams know that the offensive line is in disarray. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to load the box, get in your face, dude. They're not going to give you the chance to figure it out. They're not. And so credit the other teams because here it is. You go, man, you only missing two players. Dude, we're not missing two players. They missed that offensive line, from that tight end to that tackle. That is huge. Those 6 players, that's huge. And so when you're talking about 2 of them are gone, You got two of them are going.
Right.
That's like me having you when you taking your mail on your mail route right this, and I get a slow leak in your thing, and that's when you gotta leak. It's like that. You got I got 4 tires. Dude, no you don't. You got 3.5 tires.
See, I ain't look at it. Okay, so those guards,
dude, that's huge.
So basically you telling me the guards are just as much as important as the tackles.
Oh, absolutely, they are. And so when we talk about Xxxi, like, oh man, pass the set. There's a lot that's going on. The dynamics on the offensive line is crazy. That's why every team, why not blitz them? I wouldn't even give them you a chance to go ahead and set, because the first when you get next. If you get up in the A gaps next to the
Gotcha.
You know what they got to do? They got to get a doom call. A doom call means everybody down, bro.
Everybody got to do.
Guess what? That dude's next to your quarterback.
So that offensive line has to kind of like move like an accordion.
They have to be just like that. They have to be exactly, and they have to be so in sync.
I didn't think about it that
it's the fact that it's like it's like me not having something significant so that you can do your job.
Exactly.
And it really is. And so from the offensive standpoint, I really feel for them. I'm like this going, you think these defenses are going to let you go ahead and get right? They not.
That was my biggest thing when Bryce Young was at Alabama. Like I was telling people, he had the best offensive line, the best receivers, best running back. Yeah. So don't get me wrong, he will pick you apart at Alabama. So my thing is now he don't have the same luxury he had at Alabama. So and I know,
but it's still. Throwing that rock like dude, he makes plays like it ain't no joke.
And I guess my last question,
joke.
And I know for a fact, you got a rapport with Frank Wright. People ask that question all the time: is Frank Wright the right guy for the team?
Absolutely. Frank Wright is a really brilliant mind, dude. I mean, here it is. It's almost like he reminds me a lot of Mike Holmgren. When I met with Mike Holmgren and I'm playing for him, I was like, man, this dude, all he does is just football. He just thinks football and thinking about ways to beat you offensively. Frank Wright is thinking about ways to beat you offensively. Now, what Coach Wright doesn't have in there, he doesn't have what we just got finished talking, the offensive line. I said this in preseason. I'll say it again. I'm like, dude, I don't care how good your quarterback. You could put Montana, Elway, Peyton. You could put Brady. I don't care who you put back there. It doesn't matter. If your offensive line is not intact, it doesn't matter. This is a quarterback-driven league, but it's really protected by the offensive line. And if you can't run the ball, which we can, and if you can't pass the ball, which can, but not really, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Even when Frank Wright was in Indianapolis, he always had quarterbacks.
He always had a hand-me-down quarterback. He never had a good.
But he had. What was the guy from the Colts?
Luck. He had Luck. He even got an old quarterback from Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan. He had Matty Ice. One tidbit I gotta ask you, and I'm kind of curious about this. Miles Sanders signed him. He don't fit with us. I'm not being funny.
Yeah.
But to me, you had an RPO quarterback, and Eagles had one of the best offensive line. Like you just said, if your offensive line is not that good, you hand him the ball. He's not like McCaffrey can break tackles. Once you put your hand on Sanders, he's going down. But Chuba has showed me over the years, he's learned some things. They going to him. Sanders got the ball twice Sunday. Now I don't know if he was a healthy, and they say it showed, but
it was a show.
But guess what? When you suit up to me in my eyes, and you ain't playing, and they paid you this money, that's telling me I ain't got to be in the stadium with y'all. I'm like, they see Chuba is outperforming this cat here, so now they saying his shoulder. But for me, they could have took that money and put it somewhere else. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and see, here's the learning curve of the National Football League right here. You see somebody from another team, and Sanders he balled out up in Philadelphia.
He did. I'm not taking him. Yeah,
balled out.
He
got to
did.
give him his props, right?
He got his bag.
Got paid. Was able to make his money. But here it is, offensive line. Because don't forget, he didn't play any
preseason. No, he didn't.
He didn't play any preseason. And I think, let me just segue here. I think that's I think it's a disservice for. I looked at preseason as this way. This is the time for me to get in shape. So when the regular season comes, I'm in shape. I don't have to get in shape during the season like most guys do. Preseason now, it's different. Preseason is like, okay, it's you don't have to hit. You don't have to play. You don't have to hit anybody.
They don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, and
it's more of the business of it because if I get hurt, I can't make my money.
And I totally get it. I understand it. I totally get it. But what I used preseason for was I gotta get right. I gotta get in the hit shape. I gotta
you
get
look at it different. See, but your mindset. But see, that's your mind. But
And they'll cut you.
But not now. Their mindsets are different now. They'll tell you before the preseason, or he might play a couple of snaps here and there. But it's 3. They only got 4 of them was 3. So guess what? Some of these guys, like you say, Miles Sanders didn't play 1 down, and all of a sudden he's supposed to start Atlanta, supposed to be ready to run. No, man, no.
And don't forget Chuba Hubbard. I understand because you had Sanders, Blackshear.
Yep.
Hubbard.
Yep.
Hubbard he proved himself to be a guy last year. He wasn't just a guy.
Yeah.
He was putting in some work.
Yeah, he was.
And so then, almost like taking a back seat burner, they bring in Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Now you got to kind of prove yourself to a new coaching staff.
Yep.
Well, guess what? If I'm Chuba, I'm sitting there going like this. Let me make my own narrative. Let me make my own story. I'll wait my time, and when I get in, I'm about to ball out.
I look at it like this. If you got Miles Sanders, a lot of teams might can use a Miles Sanders. If you got Chuba here, I didn't understand why you didn't bring Deontay Foreman back on a smaller contract. You had Chuba. You still had the same dynamic. But like you say, you see something out there that looks good out there on paper. But when you get here, it ain't the same what he had up there in the Eagles. My thing is they could have took that money and used it. That's just my opinion as a fan. They could have used that money somewhere. Looking at it now, since we're going on to week 8, week 9 now.
Yeah.
We're going up.
Use him. But I say here, one thing I would tell you what Sanders he reminds me of what's the boy we had McCaffrey.
Out the backfield,
because he can catch the rock.
Yeah.
The dude. The dude can catch that rock, and I'm like, okay, let him eat like that. But what I see where we've struggled at has been the offensive line, and when that's not intact, it doesn't matter.
Everything's
it doesn't matter. You can have. Well, maybe you can have Barry Sanders.
Gotcha. Barry make you miss.
Barry make you miss. But you can have any of the other top running backs you want to put. Adrian Peterson, Eric Dickerson. You can have any of those cats right there.
Because everything's in
disarray. I have to ask you this quick. I know you got. I got to ask this question.
Barry Sanders.
Is the receivers? Is the receivers that they just can't get open? Or
No. They're getting open. It's that. Okay, let me start.
Thielen getting open.
Okay, yeah. There's been coverage sacks. There's been coverage sacks where guys go. Okay, let's put it this way. You don't have a top dog on your thing except for maybe Thielen, right? He came from another team, right? No, Shark. Shark is. I know he's good. You got Chanel.
Mingo.
You got Mingo.
Was Chanel hurt Sunday?
Yeah, I think he's still banged up.
Okay.
Because he's a really good running back.
Yeah,
so
I like him. Yes, I like him.
So, but you have that, right? Let me tell you the mentality of a defensive back room. When we're getting ready to play the San Francisco 49ers, we go like this. Oh, man, hey, that's Jerry Rice. Oh, John Taylor. Okay, hey, dude, I don't care what we do. We taking away this cat right here. All right? We got to put the next best dude on here, but we got 2 dudes on this cat right here.
Gotcha.
All right? Where do you think people are saying that?
Thielen.
No. But where do you think when they look at the Panthers and the thing?
They don't have to go.
So what do you think when they're going to go? They're going to go like this. Oh, I got this. I got this. So what? It already precedes itself that, unless somebody, and Thielen is stepping up, unless somebody steps up and takes control, nobody's going to respect you in a different defensive back room, because they're going to say like this to the coach. Hey, coach, man, don't worry about that. I got it.
But it's already sad you got a 33-year-old receiver that's balling, and you draft him.
But he's benched.
I'm not saying
he's benched.
But you got Mingo. You're supposed to say he's supposed to be like an A.J. Brown, and he might be.
He will be.
As of right now.
He will be. He's not there yet, but he will be.
Yeah, like I say, Chalk. He had that one good year in Jacksonville, went to Detroit, had ankle problems. Everybody, but like I say, I know what they were trying to do with the DJ Moore thing. They were trying to patch it up. Everybody, but my thing is, DJ Moore's like you say, he's a dog. My thing is, you find other ways to make that trade without putting him in it, because guess what? You can bring him in and say, okay, Bryce Young, they get your number one receiver. You had him and Thielen there together. I promise you to be so much different. I promise you to be different.
Here it is. I'm a DJ Moore fan.
I am too.
I'm a DJ Moore fan.
And I am too.
And I'll follow him when he's at Chicago.
Yeah.
Because I think he's just that. He's just that good. Here is the problem of a young quarterback. Think about this. This is what Coach Frank Reich has. He has a brand new team.
True.
A whole new team.
True.
So it's like me having you. I get on your route, right? And now I think I could do what you do just because I saw you do it.
Right?
And I never did it. And now I got to get all the chemistry. Oh, no, Gene, don't go that way. You better go this way because you're going to save time here. No, go this. You start here. I like to do. We got all those nuances. Well, guess what? He has to do. I know they're football players, and you think they would have it down, but he has to put all that stuff together.
Yeah.
That's what maybe Coach Wilkes wouldn't have to do if he's here.
Yeah.
But that's what he has to do, and I get it. Yeah. I understand it. I totally get it. So, and I think he's still the right choice. But here it is. I'm like, you're gonna have to take your lumps because you got to put these pieces together. Now, do you think? I think Mingo's gonna be good. Absolutely.
I think so.
I think Mingo got something.
I see.
There's something.
Cause like it's like games. Some games like they were throwing. He dove last week. Yeah. It's right out. I'm like, it's just they timing off just a little bit. Yeah. And I said, if you just him. And Thielen, but like I say, they just need. I thought I'm just so hurt. I thought Terrence Marshall Jr. was gonna be that dude.
I thought
really. That's why I thought he was gonna come in. He'd be like, "Yo, Justin Jefferson and Chase." I'm gonna be like,
I thought
I'm hurt by that. But like I
thought
say,
he would be. I thought he would be that guy, and I get it because I know he was hurt at one point too.
Yeah.
So I totally get it. But what your audience need to know is that it is relatively a new team.
So it's just like you getting a brand new. Just say if you're getting a brand new Tesla or a brand new vehicle, you got all these different gadgets. You don't know how to work.
You got to figure it out.
I'm gonna do this right here.
You have to figure all that stuff out. And if you in our business, nobody wants to give you the time to figure it out. Nobody want to give you the time to figure it out because our business is a win business.
It's a win.
You don't win.
Yeah. If you don't win, look what the Raiders did the other night. Yeah, they lost and they fired general manager and the head coach.
They fired the general manager and the head coach.
Yep.
So before we head out, YouTube, I just want to say thank you to Mr. G. Because guess what? He could be so many other places, but he took the time out. He looked at me. We had a situation. We're not gonna get into it. We had a situation where somebody shiked us and took our money, and we had shot episode with Mr. G about a couple months ago. He noticed. He looked at me and saw me one day and said, "Mike, what happened?" I said, "Hey, we had to learn the hard way." So what we trying to do now is do it from the ground up on our own. So
do it from the ground up on your own because this is I love the setup. I love how unique this is.
Yes.
And I think this works.
And we want to say completely with you. Thank you so much for coming here, helping us out. Like I say,
I appreciate you, dog.
YouTube, hit that subscribe button, comment, and like. And I know for a fact, y'all really didn't know. I told y'all we had somebody special coming. I told you.
Definitely.
So I'm so happy right now.
Let me just tell you this too for you.
Go ahead.
To your listeners too. So I was just nominated for the Hall of Fame once again.
Oh, man, come on, man. Listen, we hope you get in. And like I say, we definitely be praying for you to get in, man. So like I say, y'all look at this. We got a man who about to hit the Hall of Fame here. We only been doing this, Darryl, since May?
Yeah.
And this is October. And we got an NFL Super Bowl champ here. I told you this podcast is going places, and I told y'all we're going to be doing a food drive. We're going to be trying to take a family. We're going to take a family out, go buy groceries for them. Like I say, so if anybody want to donate, you know Darryl, you know our Instagram, you know our TikTok, whatever you want to reach us at. That's why we're selling the hats and stuff. It's not for us. Like I say, it's not for us. We're trying to provide for the community and be a pillar in the community, just like Mr. Eugene is. We're trying to do the same thing. It's just we got to build out. We're not XFL players. We're not college basketball. We work at the post office, but at the same time, we know people, and he knows I'm genuine, just like my older brother now. I love Mr. U. Like I said, y'all hit that like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll check y'all out next time on My Speaking Podcast. Peace out.
Peace.